Greetings and salutations, mortals. 'Tis I, Nasvanu here, bringing you part 11 of What If Naruto Was Hakuchiya. Just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. And so, we begin. After the horrifying experience with Orochimaru, Sakura was able to move the two boys to a separate location. It was a small clearing that was hidden away from view by many large trees. The sun rays glistened between the tree branches, barely lighting up the area to see. Sakura decided it would be best to set up camp here. A day had passed since Orochimaru's attack. That should do it, Sakura said as she plopped herself down next to the two unconscious boys. The two had high fevers. No matter what Sakura did, they didn't wake up. I hope that snake freak doesn't show up again, the girl thought as she rested her bloody blade next to her. Winds traveled through the forest as the girl could clearly hear how other battles were being fought a ways away. On the one side, she was scared, seeing as though she was the only member of her team still able to fight. On the other hand, she wanted a fight. Well, look what we found here, a man said from the other side of the clearing. Behind him were two others, one girl and one guy. Don't waste your time here. We don't have a scroll. It's been taken already, Sakura said, placing her hand onto his sword next to her, readying for any surprise attacks. Now why do I get a feeling you're lying? The girl behind the man retorted. You're free to find out. Sakura's eyes glistened in the sun. For the first time, she let out malice while she slowly stood up. The girl gave the three the harshest glare she could muster while gripping her blade so tightly that her knuckles started turning white. This girl has some spunk, the one guy said, stepping forward. Something was strange about him. He had holes in his palms and a sinister aura about him. Why don't I put you in your place? The boy quickly lifted up his palms and aimed it toward Sakura. The girl stood firm and tall as she held her sword loosely next to her. Air cutter, the boy simply said as an ear-piercing burst of sound exploded from his palms, the trees bending by the sheer shock it produced. Once the sound died down, the three ninjas looked over to Sakura, seeing the girl was still standing. She didn't move a single inch, but her eardrums were in fact bleeding. My turn, the girl said softly as she disappeared in a cloud of smoke. What? Where did she go? The sound-getting girl asked, looking around the group only to suddenly see a pink blur behind one boy. Saku, watch out! The girl shouted, but it was too late. Sakura had plunged her sword into the boy's back. Don't underestimate me, Sakura whispered softly as she twisted her blade, causing the boy to spew out blood before he dropped down into the ground, morbidly sliding off her blade with ease. I missed his vital organs. If you still wish to have your teammate, then you should leave your scroll and take him before I change my mind. The two Soundgate looked at each other before both of them burst forth, both going in separate directions. Now! The sound Kunoichi shouted once they were on the sides of Sakura. Suddenly, another sound explosion went off as Sakura went flying towards the other girl. I got you now! The girl said with a grin as she threw a shower of shurikens straight at Sakura. Unable to avoid the attack, Sakura attempted to block it, causing many shurikens to embed themselves into her arms and legs. Cheap shot! Sakura growled as she rushed to the girl, only to get blown away by another sound explosion. The girl unexpectedly dropped her blade mid-flight as she got flung into a nearby tree. That Zaku went easy on you. You see, girlie, these sound waves are a lot more powerful than what you think. The team leader smiled under his mask as the girl walked up to Sakura, who was now bleeding from her head. Why don't you cut off that pretty hair of yours? You look much better without it. The girl viciously punched Sakura, causing Sakura to bleed even more. Stop it! You'll regret what you're about to do! Sakura's voice was tired and weak. That slam against the tree severely hurt her. This is payback for Zaku! The girl said, bringing up her kunai. Suddenly, in the shade where Sakura left the two unconscious boys, now stood two dark figures. Sasuke was the first. Half his body was coated in weird black markings, and his Sharingan were blazing alive. For some reason, he had all three Tomo now. Sasuke looked over the clearing, one Soundgenin on the ground in a pool of blood, while two others were standing there, waiting. His eyes instantly noticed the one Genin about to attack Sakura. Before anyone could notice what was happening, the sound of thunder resonated through the area. Bright red and black streaks stretched out all against the tree line as the deafening sound of thunder started getting louder and louder. A beast-like roar was let out when Naruto suddenly appeared in front of Sakura, shielding the girl from the Soundgenin. Half the boy's body was coated in black markings, while the other half was almost in a fox-like cloak. The boy had an almost animalistic look to him as he suddenly punched the Genin straight into a nearby boulder, shattering the ancient rock to pieces. When Sakura looked over to Sasuke, she saw the boy was now standing on top of the group leader. The Genin's arms were snapped in half as he was now screaming for dear life. Just when Sakura thought it was over, the two Uchihas locked eyes. Naruto let out another animalistic roar as he launched towards Sasuke. Flame Bastion! The young Uchiha announced before meeting Naruto in a one-on-one fist fight. While Naruto's body went into full autopilot, his mind was busy in a battle of its own. Let me go! The boy shouted, finding himself deep in darkness. The large, almost barren wasteland of Naruto's mindscape stretched out around him. The boy held his head as it felt like it was exploding. There was so much pain, he was on the verge of screaming bloody murder. The sound of something sprawling around forced Naruto to look up. What he saw was horrifying. The nine-tailed fox was sprawling around in his cage. The creature let out an inhumane sound as the thin line of his chakra was seeping into the sky. Naruto slowly looked up before seeing a pair of Sharingan eyes. The eyes were constantly moving as their continuous glare burrowed into the Nine-Tails' mind. What's happening? Naruto asked, momentarily forgetting about his pain. That isn't me, right? Naruto asked himself, the feeling of dread sinking into him. I need to deactivate them. Naruto closed his eyes in an attempt to help, but nothing he did worked. He wasn't in control of his body. An ear-piercing roar came from the Nine-Tails as the wave of it shot out, flinging Naruto away, along with shattering the Sharingan in the sky. Naruto suddenly awakened back in the outside world, finding himself crouched above an unconscious Sasuke. A kunai was held close to his neck, but a strange weight hung on the boy. Slowly turning around, Naruto saw Sakura. The girl was hugging Naruto tightly. In the daze, Naruto looked around, seeing the clearing was destroyed with many craters, along with burnt patches of earth. What happened? Naruto asked, tiredness overtaking him, but somehow he kept himself awake. Sakura merely held Naruto tighter. The boy was confused. Last thing he remembered was Orochimaru biting him. Where am I? Sasuke asked as he woke up, but instantly frowned. Get off me, idiot, Sasuke growled as he tried pushing Naruto off of himself. The orange-haired boy got flung off with Sakura still latching onto him. Where are we anyway? This place looks like a battlefield. The boy cracked his neck, but instantly winced in pain as he touched an odd seal on his neck. Sasuke looked over to Naruto, seeing the same seal on his. Let's get moving. We're out in the open, Naruto said, standing up when Sakura finally let him go. The girl looked at the two surprised, seeing as somehow the last half hour's battle didn't even happen. All that destruction was somehow not their own. Sakura simply decided to shake it off. I got a heaven scroll while you guys were asleep, so now we have both necessary scrolls to pass the test. Sakura had a smile as she held up the two scrolls, allowing both Naruto and Sasuke to take one each for safeguarding. How long were we knocked out for? About a day or so, Sakura stammered. That means other people have passed by now. Come on, let's head over to the tower as soon as possible. If we stay out here, we can simply be seen as targets. The other two agreed with Naruto as they carefully made their way deeper into the forest. Unbeknownst to the two Uchihas, 3 dead bodies lay on the ground. One was killed by Sakura, while the other 2 were slaughtered by them. The seal came out even better than planned. Kabuto had a sinister look as he watched the entire battle unfold from the safe treetops. The seal was capable of pulling out even the Nine-Tails chakra, along with the fact it made the subject completely insane. This is perfect, Orochimaru said, standing next to Kabuto. I can't wait for this to unfold. Once they can tap into your power, they'll come running to you like puppies. In due time, Kabuto. In due time. Far off in the Kage Tower. So, what do you make of the situation, Kakashi? The Hokage asked coldly, as he and the Jonin were alone in a dark room. Only an orb was there with them, which relayed everything happening in the Chunin exams in real time. The man had a serious energy about him. Lord Hokage, allow me to escort Orochimaru out. The Hokage looked closely at the Jonin. I know you by now, Kakashi. You try to fight him. That is something you are not capable of. You see, I've already sent 2 Anbo teams. Hopefully they can catch him before he does more damage. The real reason I called you here is this. Can you teach Naruto to control the Nine-Tails? The Jonin looked slightly shocked at the Hokage. It's true, Naruto has to learn how to use the Nine-Tails, but Kakashi doesn't have the faintest clue. I'm sorry, Lord Hokage. I'm unable. You see, Kakashi, That seal Orochimaru used was somehow able to bypass the seal containing the Nine-Tails. If we can't lock that seal down, then we might have a Berserk Naruto about in the leaf. That is not something any of us want. I understand, Lord Hokage. I called in an old friend of mine. He will be able to teach Naruto, but I want to ask you to train Sasuke to the best of your abilities. You see, Naruto and Sasuke have had a consistent rivalry since they were children. We can't be having one get above the other. Yes, Lord Hokage. I understand. You are dismissed, Hiruzen said calmly as he turned back to the crystal ball, watching the two Uchihas closely. How far will you two grow? Will the leaf be able to contain you? Was the old man's thoughts as he waited for the second phase of the Chunin exam to end. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. Hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a primary channel called We the Celestials. We the Celestials is what we do here already, but their content is centered around the crazy world and lore of My Hero Academia. So please check us out over there if you're feeling in the mood for a roller coaster of quirky content. We also have another relative to our channel, Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lores of a wide variety of anime. Be sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. I'd like to let you all know on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here at WTC, then I would like to extend out an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being we only accept members 16 and older to join our crew. You can find us in our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-around fantastic place to be, whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits. All you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work that fulfills your interest. We're always looking for members to join us. Well then, that is it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and have a phenomenal day.